your daily election 2023 update. This is Election Fix, powered by Newstalk ZB.
Kia ora, I'm Raylene Ramsay, and this is Election Fix for Wednesday, the 20th of September. Today, political reporter Sophie Trigger talks us through how Chris Luxon's feeling after last night's debate. And Chief Political Reporter Aaron Dahmen has been on the East Coast with Chris Hipkins, where his gaming skills have been put to the test.
Election Fix headlines.
ACT will replace NCEA Level 3 with current university entrance requirements. In its education policy, it will also implement standardised testing, restrict funding for failing ECE centres, and develop an online table for parents to compare schools' performances. David Seymour says it's currently hard for parents to track their kids' progress.
And yet we pour huge amounts of money into early childhood education without actually testing if they're effective at getting students up to basic levels of literacy and numeracy.
The Health Minister has given her diagnosis of our health system. Aisha Verrill has addressed 180 Nurses Union members at their conference in Wellington this morning and spoke about the state of the sector.
Our health system is recovering from COVID and the benefit of our investment is starting to show. I understand that does not mean that anything is easy.
Nationals leader says banning sugary drinks in schools is not a priority. During last night's leaders' debate, opponent Chris Hipkins said fizzy drinks shouldn't be allowed in secondary schools, promising a ban if Labour's re-elected. Chris Luxon has already promised to ban mobile phones in schools, but says soft drinks aren't on his radar.
Election Fix. Everything you need to know from the campaign trail. Newstalk ZB.
Now to our reporters on the campaign trail. And Newstalk ZB's Chief Political Reporter Aaron Dahmen joins us. Aaron, you're with Chris Hipkins on the East Coast. What's he been up to?
Good afternoon, Raylene. Well, I'm coming to you from the middle of a farm paddock, but also the sun is shining. I don't want to make you too jealous, but the waves have been lapping up on the East Coast and there is not a cloud to be seen. And Chris Hipkins has been here on the East Coast. First up in Tairāwhiti, Gisborne, and after being on the tally last night, well, he was learning more about the magic of the big screen. He dropped into Rangai Limited, that's a film production company, basically taking rangatahi from basic work readiness to high-paid tech jobs. So there were green screens and there were big cameras and big high-backed gaming chairs. And he then put on his PM hat and visited Te Ranganui o Ngāti Porou, where there was Waiata, there was Haka, and he announced $15 million to raise about 200 homes at risk of future flooding, as well as a $10 million business package to support cyclone-hit regions, an area, of course, desperate for support after Cyclone Gabrielle.
And Darren, his gaming skills have been put to the test. How did he fare?
Yeah, well, while he was at Rangai Limited, he was challenged to a PlayStation game. So he whipped out the controller and he toyed with it a bit, and then he asked the screen production students, guys, what are we aiming to achieve here? And it's fair to say, I think Barbara Edmonds, his fellow MP, put it best. She pointed out, well, everyone has their talents. And Hipkins later admitted to us he was pretty hopeless at the PlayStation.
All right, better luck next time. Thank you, Aaron.
Election Fix.
Political reporter Sophie Trigger is with us. Sophie, what's Chris Luxon been up to today?
So Chris Luxon has been at a goat farm south of Auckland, which manages more than 3,000 goats. He was extremely interested in the animals, asked lots of questions about the industry and the business, and surprised most people, including his staff, by actually taking up an offer of milking them. Inconveniently, maybe he was wearing a crisp white shirt to undertake this hands-on task, which ultimately needed to be changed. Although Luxon only gave himself a 3 out of 10 for the effort, staff told him that he'd done much better than them on their first attempts. And perhaps just as difficult maybe as milking a goat for the first time is facing the relentless questions of the press gallery media pack. Today, off the back of ACT's tax policy, Luxon was pressed on how much, if any of it, he would entertain in any post-election negotiations. He said he's not looked at the detail, and while theoretically he wouldn't be open to it, he obviously prefers their tax plan, he was unwilling to rule anything in or out this side of the election.
And of course, Sophie, we had the first leaders' debate last night. How was Luxon feeling about it?
Yeah, so there were some moments from last night's debate still on people's minds. For example, Chris Hipkins last night revealed he wanted to ban sugary drinks in schools and would do that if re-elected. Luxon, who's already promised to ban cell phones in schools, today said that soft drinks aren't a priority for him, and there's more concerning aspects of the health system like nurses, workforce shortage, surgery wait times, etc. that he'll be focusing on. Luxon was also given a second chance at a question put to him during the debate last night, what he personally does for the environment. So last night he responded that he recycles and that his wife owns probably the most famous Tesla in New Zealand, but then pushed again today on whether that was good enough for a potential future Prime Minister. Luxon pointed to his environmental record as Air New Zealand CEO and reiterated once again that his family takes recycling very, very seriously. So there you go, Christopher Luxon, an avid recycler.
Love it. Thank you very much, Sophie.
Election Fix, powered by Newstalk ZB.
That is Election Fix for Wednesday, the 20th of September. Join us again tomorrow to get the latest update on everything from the campaign trail from the Newstalk ZB newsroom. And you can also head to newstalkzb.co.nz/election 2023 to get all your political news. I'm Raylene Ramsay. We'll catch you again tomorrow.